Being a support system means carrying that person who is recovering, who is working on something. You carry them, make them your own burden. Welcome to Restoring the Inner Person with Jane. Thank you for always tuning in. In our last 3 episodes, I've had an interview with a recovering addict, Ken Wabishop. In the podcast today, we are having reactions of the emerging issues in those 3 episodes. Among them was the need of having people to walk with you, people who can hold your hand, people who can be pillars in your life, people whom we simply call a support system. For Ken, he is recovering from alcohol addiction and other drugs. But in this life, we need support systems as we work on many other issues in our life. Support systems are encouragers. Support systems give us hope. Support system, are there to hold us when maybe we are moving backwards and ensure that we stay focused. So we all need support systems in this life. Could it be a behavior change you are working on, or maybe you are simply working on your self-esteem, or you could be working on a project, whatever that is. We all need people to encourage us, people to walk with us in this life. But for our purpose today, because we are reacting on the issue of Ken, I want us to look at why, we need a shoulder to lean on, a person who is a support system in our life as far as maybe addiction is concerned. And from those 3 episodes, we saw that Ken has had several pillars or several people who has come in as support systems. Number 1 is his parents. So parents are very good support systems. Whichever stage you are in life, if you are lucky enough to still be having your parents, parents always come in handy as good support systems. And apart from the parents, we have the rest of the family members, starting with the nuclear members of the family. These are the people you have grown with, maybe people who really understand you. They know you deeply before other people come in. We may have other extended family members. You may have your peers, maybe your schoolmates, your college mates, your workmates. If you are Christian, you are going to church, your fellow Christians, and other, leaders like church leaders. All these people can come in handy as support systems, people to walk with you. And it reminds me that a human being always needs other people. It doesn't matter what you are going through. Are you going through grief and loss? We need support systems. Are you in the journey of transition as a young person, even as an elderly person? You need a support system. Are you going through illness? Maybe even a terminal illness. You need a support system. So support systems are required in different areas of our lives. Why do we need support systems? Why do we need pillars? Why do we need a shoulder to lean on? Number 1, we need a shoulder to lean on, a pillar or a support system for our own emotional stability, and also for encouragement. For example, those who are coming out of drugs, they are coming out of addiction like Ken. They need a lot of, people to help them to stabilize emotionally. If you listen to the story of Ken, you realize that, emotionally he was very unstable. And who came in to help him to stabilize are his parents and other significant people in his life. So we need support systems to help us to deal with the emotions that we are going through. Let's say even in the case of loss and grief, if somebody has gone through loss and grief, they are not stable emotionally. So support systems, when we grieve with someone, we come in to cushion that so that they can be able to stabilize emotionally, and we also encourage them. Support systems are also people who can pray for you, people who can intercede for you. So a support system is an intercessor, somebody who can pray to God for you, because you realize when we are in very difficult circumstances, sometimes we may not be able even to express how we feel to God. In some circumstances we can, but in other very difficult circumstances it may not be possible. So a support system, a shoulder to lean on, can be an intercessor, somebody who intercedes for you, somebody who is appeasing and appealing to God on your behalf. A support system. A support system. A support system also feels with you. A support system is able to get into your situation and feel as you feel and see things the way you see them. So we all need people in our lives who can be able to put themselves in our shoe and see things from our perspective and feel as we feel. So another reason why we need support system is accountability. Accountability. Specifically for those who are recovering, it's important for them to be accountable, because they are recovering addicts and they are always susceptible. They are always vulnerable, always prone to going back, because maybe in some circumstances they are still in the same environment. When they get out of their house, they still meet the same people that maybe they were together with before they stopped abusing those drugs. So when we are talking of a shoulder to lean on, a support system, it's someone who can keep them on track, somebody who can make sure they are accountable for everything that they are doing to ensure that they do not relapse. A support system can also come in to help with practical things, practical materials. For the case of Ken, which maybe we are using here as a case study, you realize Ken had sold everything. He had sold everything. So you can imagine the kind of jobs he was doing, and now he has stopped. He has no job, no nothing. Are you in a similar situation? You need someone to assist you with material things. I'm also finding myself looking at the issue of loss and grief. When a family or an individual is going through loss and grief, immediately they may not be able, they may not be in a position to think of the things that they need. People need to have things being done for them. And that's why we come in to support them financially and other material things. Because even if they may be having so much in the bank, but they are not even in a position to go and use that money because of the situation that they are they are in. So we need support systems who at times can help us with material things. For a recovering addict, maybe they need to start all over again. Maybe they need clothes, they need food, they need shelter. They need many other material things. So support systems, whether parents, siblings, friends, workmates, and all those, they can provide material support. Another thing that a support system can do is to be in there during, a crisis. They come up to give what we call crisis support. In our episode with Ken, you realize there is a time after 3 months, Ken had a relapse. And in that situation where he found himself in a bar, who came in to support him in that crisis of relapse? It is Pastor Grace. And Pastor Grace, wherever you are very much appreciated, and we trust that we shall be able to bring you here on set to give us your experience as a support system. So somebody is in a crisis, so we come in to give crisis support. What else? A support system also offers a sense of belonging. A sense of belonging. In whichever situation you are in, where you need a shoulder to lean on, a support system. Okay? These people come in handy. They come in handy to assist you, to give you a feeling of, belonging. Whether it is through loss and grief, the people who come in, they feel they belong. They feel they are valued. So for substance and drug abuse, somebody who has stopped and they are recovering, they need a sense of belonging. Remember, before they stopped, they had the people where they belonged to, the people they were associating with. So when they stop and they are in the journey of recovery, they need to identify with people who are sober. They need to have a sense of belonging with people who are leading a sober life. They need to feel accepted. So support systems also need to work and ensure that the person who is recovering experiences a sense of belonging, that they no longer belong to the other side. It tells me then that for them to feel accepted as a support system, then you also need to practice being non-judgmental. Being non-judgmental. We start looking at them differently. We don't remind them of where they came from, of the things that they were doing. But if they repeat them, we correct them, or, we assist them to correct with a lot of love, so that they can feel that they are in the right place with the right people. I want to imagine that whether you are family, or you are even, the normal families, or you are a church family where we have pastors and other church leaders, if a person is having an issue they are working on, whether it is addiction or even family issues, maybe others, their families have broken up, they are recovering from that, do we make them feel that they have a place where they belong to, that they are accepted and they are valued, that they are not judged according to their past? A sense of belonging. That is our responsibility as support systems, being a person where a person can lean on you. I want to give you the last one and say that being a support system You also need to be a good role model. A good role model. You need to be practical in your ways so that a person who is recovering or, from whatever situation, they can have somebody they can look up to. A person they can look up to. Thank you for listening to me. In my next episode, I want to be specific and look at the characteristics of being a support system, a shoulder to lean on. What are those specific characteristics that you need to cultivate that can be encouraging to this person so that they feel that they have a sense of belonging? That you are a person worth being, leaned on. And also ask yourself whether you are that person. Let us work on that. But before we end, allow me to read a Bible verse from the book of Galatians. I'm going to read from the Bible, the book of Galatians, chapter 6 and verse 2. This is what it says. Carry each other's burdens, and in this way you will fulfill your law of Christ. Carry one another's burden. So being a support system means carrying that person who is recovering, who is working on something. You carry them, make them your own burden. Work with them, walk with them as they walk and work towards the journey of wholeness, the journey of growth, and the journey of becoming the best version of themselves. See you in the next one, but make sure you subscribe, comment, like, and share this information to the many people you know that they are supposed to be support system. Bye-bye.